CC.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome tonight here to the CIF Southern California Division II Girls Volleyball Southern California Regional Championships, as we have number 5 East Lake High School out of Chula Vista, California, here at number 2 Centennial, as the Golden Hawks set to host this huge SoCal Regional Championship in Division II. My name is Trevor Horn, and I have the utmost pleasure of welcoming in my partner tonight, the Hall of Famer, one of the greatest human beings I have ever met, Miss Maria Kolatz. Maria, thank you for joining the broadcast tonight. How excited are you for this matchup?
Well, first of all, thank you, Trevor. And I am super excited. I'm so excited for Centennial to have come this far, and they're competing so well, and their game is just getting better and better. So I'm looking forward to an awesome match.
We are going to come up here on the national anthem in just a few moments, and we will take an audio break while we play the national anthem. We will come back with starting lineups and get ready. But we have dignitaries over dignitaries when it comes to volleyball here in Bakersfield. One of them is on the call with me tonight, one of the 5 head coaches in the history of Kern County to coach in this game, to coach in the state finals. Maria, back in 1990, where you were at Garrison Memorial High School, before you spent 34 years as the head coach and recently retired at Stockdale High School. Maria, thank you. We're going to have a great time here. We're about ready to play the national anthem. We will take a quick break, and we will come right back here on the Kern High Network, broadcasted on the NFHS Network tonight. I'm Trevor Horn, along with Maria Kolatz, with Julian Wilson on the board. We'll be right back.
Take cash, direct deposit, or check.
I think a pony is a smart investment.
My rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
I'm also open to a salary position.
And the host team, the Centennial The CIF would like to thank all fans here this evening for demonstrating your support of the student athletes involved in this game. We are proud of both teams' achievements in advancing to tonight's CIF championship game. Our student athletes enjoy the opportunity to participate in the CIF Volleyball Championships thanks in large part to the generosity of our family of CIF corporate partners. Please support the following CIF partners who support our student athletes: Spectrum News 1, CCTOA, California Army National Guard, Gatorade, Nike, the Marines, Billy T's, SB Live Sports, Raising Cane's, California Community Colleges, and Max Preps. We remind players, coaches, and spectators that these games are conducted with the highest expectation of fair play and good sportsmanship. Please cooperate in making this contest exemplary and an example of the tradition of interscholastic athletics. Remember to pursue victory with honor. Here's a brief message from both teams.
Hello, my name is Tatum Forbes of Centennial High School, and this is Paige Sinclair from East Lake High School. On behalf of Centennial High School, I would like to welcome Paige and the rest of the students, coaches, and fans from East Lake to the Hawks Nest for tonight's game. Together, we are here to remind everyone that both teams have worked equally hard in preparation for tonight's game, and both deserve your vigorous support and respect. The students of our two schools enthusiastically support the principles of pursuing victory with honor, and we request that all cheering be done in a positive and respectful manner. As well, we do not consider berating or disrespecting your opponents or the game officials to be classy, funny, or cool behavior. Please remember that this game is for us, the students of both Centennial and East Lake High School. Please allow everyone here to experience the real fun and enjoyment of high school volleyball. Thank you.
And now, please stand for the singing of our national anthem from our very own Ada Larson.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you back. Thank you for welcoming us back. What a wonderful rendition of the national anthem. Once again, my name is Trevor Horn. I'm along with Maria Kolatz. This is the excuse me. This is the CIF State Southern California Division II Regional Championships between the East Lake Titans and the Centennial Golden Hawks. I'm Trevor Horn along with Maria Kolatz here on the Kern High Network, broadcast on the NFHS Network. We welcome you all into this fantastic venue, this fantastic event. Maria, this is a game that you've coached in before. What is it that takes for a team to get through your section playoffs and the gauntlet that is the state playoffs, that is a 5-round tournament, to get to this point?
I mean, once you're at this point, you've been in this season for the long haul. It's a long season. You got to be resilient. You got to be a great unified group that's willing to play together and get out there after a common goal. There's just a lot of, you could say pressure, but I think at this point these teams have played so long together during this season that at this point it's just, let's get out there and let's get after it.
Well, let's talk about the visiting Titans here for just 1 second. 29-11 this year. They were 6-0 in the Metro Mesa League. They won the San Diego Section Division I title with a 3-0 win over Rancho Bernardo. They did not drop a set in their 4 section matches. Moving on to be the 5 seed here in the SoCal Regionals. They beat Campbell Hall 3-1 in the opening round. In the quarterfinals, they defeated number 4 San Diego Academy 3-1. And then last Saturday, just 3 days ago, they were right back up here in Bakersfield, not 4 miles away from us, and they beat Bakersfield Christian in 3 sets, and that last one coming 25-9. Very resounding win. For a team to have to come up to Bakersfield and travel for 5 hours. I mean, you've traveled numerous times in your 37 years as a head coach. What is that like to be able to throw these girls on the bus and say, we got to stay focused all the way through?
Well, like I said, they've already been in this season for the long haul. They're used to some of that. They're used to the travel. They're used to the day-to-day grind of getting out there and competing. The ultimate goal is getting off that 5-hour bus ride and getting on the court and doing what they love to do. So, I mean, yeah, away games can be tough. I've had teams that thrive on away games, so it just really depends.
Let's talk about the Centennial Golden Hawks. 29-10 this year, went 6-2 in the River League. They actually lost the opening round of the Central Section Division I playoffs 3-0 to Clovis West. But because all 8 teams in the Central Section Division I bracket were guaranteed at least an at-large bid, the Centennial Golden Hawks, much like Bakersfield Christian, much like Liberty in Division I, all advanced to the state playoffs. And here they are after beating Rancho Cucamonga 3-0 in the first round. Last Tuesday, they beat a very talented Long Beach Poly team in 5 sets, and then on Saturday defeated Windward 3-1 to advance, and now here they are hosting rather than going down the street to Bakersfield Christian because Eastlake Titans were able to be victorious in that road match, and here they are again. This Eastlake team is almost similar to the Centennial team in the 90s. As we're sitting here, obviously we know that they won 2 state titles in 95 and 96, a national championship in 96, 4 straight Central Section titles. Eastlake kind of mirrors that now. They've been to the SoCal Regional Playoffs every year since 2019. This program has 415 wins since 2008, and 15 of those 17 seasons, at least 20 wins. How does that happen?
That's just as a group of talented athletes and a group of hardworking coaches that have just made it all come together. That's a pretty impressive group of stats that you just read off to us. But, you know, going back to the beginning part of what you just said, how impressive is Bakersfield, too? I mean, it was pretty nice to think that they had to come up to Bakersfield twice.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of solid Bakersfield volleyball right now, which is a great thing to be a part of.
Well, and the simple fact that we have the top 2 seeds in this division for the entire Southern California region says a lot about what this city has been able to produce for decades in this sport.
Absolutely. And then, you know, our league is very tough. It's brutal. You can't have a down moment even in our league. So when you're playing teams like Clovis West, and I know that Centennial went to Hawaii and played an impressive preseason. I mean, these teams have played high caliber volleyball. This is just icing on the cake to get out there and get after it right now in the state tournament.
All right, Coach, here we go. Kennedy Wax ready to serve it. Solid rally going to start off. And there we go. The first point will go to Kate Johns and Centennial. To get that first point, Coach, how important is that now with Kate coming back and serving now?
I mean, just keep the roll. You want to keep it going. That was very smart play for her to get that short shot and get that ball down on the ground.
One of the keys to the game tonight as number 2, Addison Oram, the junior outside hitter, ties it back up. A few of the keys to the game, that talking to Kim Harper, the head coach of the Centennial Golden Hawks, she said one of the things is pass well and serve and receive and serve tough tonight. And that's one thing that Centennial really has done a great job of. But there is a great serve for the Titans. That is Casey Papa, the junior DS, with the ace.
Yes, serve receive is going to be critical. If Eastside gets good passing, they have quite the tall front line there, so that's going to be to their advantage. Yep.
Couple of names of note. As we're looking for a rally, can we get the Centennial get the ball back over? And they do continue this rally. Centennial's able to get the ball over the net.
Setter got up a little bit earlier than that middle and pushed that down.
Well, and that middle is a name that we're going to be calling a lot tonight, Ariel Chime. She is a middle blocker headed to Vanderbilt to play indoor. And along with that, number 1, you see her with the long hair and the braid, Ivana Rivera Vargas. She is headed to Stanford on an out to play beach volleyball. And that is Kat Wolf-Smith, the very talented sophomore libero for Centennial. Her mother, Rachel Wolf, who is right below us, is actually the last Bakersfield coach to coach in this regional championships 3 years ago when she was at Garces Memorial.
And I coached Rachel.
And you two have a distinction that only 2 of you hold, and the 2 coaches that have taken Garces to the SoCal Regionals. How about that?
That's super cool.
Hitting error for Centennial, that will be a side out. We are now tied up 3-3. Some of the starters for Centennial tonight: Morgan George, the senior setter, second team All-League. Kat Wolf-Smith, who just had that ace, sophomore libero, first team All-League. Isla Rose, number 14. That is a great serve. Great
flat top spin. No top spin, I'm sorry. Flat serve.
Jordan Kennedy, number 11, the junior middle, first team All-League. Brooke Towle, just a freshman, second team all-league this year. And there is Centennial taking the lead in the side out and getting this crowd. That student section, Maria, oh my gosh. How great is this crowd right now?
I love high school atmosphere. That crowd is awesome. They're definitely gonna be a big push for the Centennial tonight.
I don't know if it's just me, but when the PA announcer announced Centennial, and there's another ace for the G-Hawks, and they now have a 5-3 advantage here in the first set here in the CIF Division II SoCal Regional Championships. I'm Trevor Horn along with Maria Collatz, Julian Wilson on the call.
Another ace. Morgan George is back there again to serve.
Thank you, Maria. Nice dig there off of the great hit by Isla Rose, but the point will go to Eastlake. We'd like to take this time to thank Current High Network, the Office of School Support Services Director, Stan Green, Valley Strong Credit Union. Thank you for your continued support of everything that we do here at the Current High Network. On the outside, Brooke Towle, just a freshman with the kill, and the side out.
Centennial's having a lot of success right now hitting that middle of the court. East Lake is going to need to make a little bit of an adjustment on their defense.
A little bit of rally now here for the Golden Hawks. Isla Rose, the junior, one of the most talented players in the city in the central section. Nice serve. Both of these teams play so well at the net and so well on the back row. But again, another errant hit for the Titans.
Yeah.
And that's a quick timeout. And it's an 8-4 advantage for Centennial here in the first set here in the SoCal Regionals. We'd like to take this time right now. We'd like to thank the Centennial Administration Principal, Ryan Coleman, AP of Instruction, Carrie Palacios, AP of Administration, Nicole Oliver, one of your good friends.
One of my ex-players.
The Dean of Student Behavior and Supports, Kathleen Buford, Dean of Student Behaviors and Supports, Anthony Ranzik, the Athletic Director, the one, the only, Tom Haskell, and Activities Director, Jana Chapman. Thank you guys so much for housing us here tonight. Such a great environment, such a great time for Bakersfield. This East Lake team that's had to travel up here to Bakersfield twice in the last 4 days. I mean, that's just an incredible, but that's what this minefield at the state playoffs is that it doesn't matter. And whoever wins this game tonight is going to have to travel to Orange, and that's a trip for either team, but that's the ultimate trip when you get to go down and play at Santiago Canyon College at 4 p.m. on Saturday for the state championship.
That atmosphere is awesome, that final match.
And you guys played that one in 1990 where?
Also, I believe it was at Cal Poly Pomona.
Yeah,
don't quote me, but I know it was down there. Yeah.
No, you're correct. I had it written down, and I couldn't remember because my brain is small. A nice hit off the net, falls to the court, and again, that's Brooke Towle, the freshman, having herself a night thus far for the G-Hawks.
Yeah, Centennial has definitely got their confidence, their home court confidence for sure.
After this first set is over, I really want to kind of dive into, Maria, the history of Bakersfield volleyball in the state championships because it's long and illustrious, and it starts from the very beginning. We'll get to that in just a little bit. And a side out that ends a 4-0 run for Centennial, and so Eastlake will get the ball back. And Ivana Rivera Vargas, one of the top players in the state of California, and Mexican national player, back to serve. What a great honor, jeez. Wow, Brooke Towle again, the freshman, with a huge kill. When you get a freshman that can play like that, Maria, you've had them throughout your career. How key is that for you to see them mature through the season?
She's going to be an amazing player. She keeps up, the pace that she's going right now, and they're just doing a really good job at moving the ball. They're hitting from behind, they're hitting in front, they're hitting low. It's definitely to their advantage right now.
And another side out for the Titans. A 10-6 advantage for Centennial now. And there is a, as we see the faces funnel in, there are names upon names upon names when it comes to Bakersfield and volleyball, and the royalty that is here tonight, as it should be. Nice block there. Goes out of bounds, point Centennial, but it just shows you the height advantage
Oh, that
that Ariel Chime has. I mean, there's a reason she's going to Vanderbilt.
Right, but that was just really smart by her offense to hit high on her hand so that ball would go out of bounds. So that was very smart on her part offensively.
When you have a middle that's that tall and that athletic, what is the best advantage you have as a defense to combat that?
I mean, there's try and hit at her arms. You know, you can't control your arms. You can't control forearms. You can, you know, if you hit at hands, they obviously can push it right back at you. Try and get her as she's on her way up. You know, watch the timing. So some of those quicker sets is what Centennial has been most successful at because they're putting it through before the blocker's getting there.
And again, another key to the game tonight for Kim Harper is serving tough.
Yeah,
and there we
good
go
serving.
again. Natalie Alcorn at the serve with the ace. Here she goes again.
Another
And
one.
back-to-back aces. They're just unable, and they don't look impressively hard, but there's got to be some kind of spin on that.
Oh, there's definitely some movement. I mean, kind of like the pitchers you see in Major League where you think it's just going straight over the plate and then it curves on the outside. That's the same thing that's going on with those serves. There's definitely movement.
So let's take a little bit of time and just talk about why Bakersfield and volleyball. And one thing that, you know, the dean of Kern County Sports will say that we like to say that Kern County is a football sport. Kern County is a basketball town. And it started in 1978, the very first CIF state championships in volleyball. Highland hosted Reedley, and Sue Kinney was the head coach, and they won it in 1978. The very first state championship in Division I was won right here in Bakersfield. And then you go to 1990, and a small Catholic school up on the hill plays in the D3 championships. And who was the head coach that year for Garces? I cannot remember. What was her name?
Actually, I think her name, 90? No, it was Maria Kovacs.
It was you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, maybe I wasn't married yet. No, I was just married.
Oh, you're trying to think if it was a maiden name
yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
We'll get into the rest here in just a little bit as we get action back. And there is that powerful right arm. Are we
Nice
going to keep this
save.
going?
Very
Oh, Cat Wolf Smith tried
was-
everything she could to keep that ball going. What an incredible receive, because that was a hard hit off the right hand there.
Well, Isla Rose with
Ariel
the save.
Chime.
Isla Rose with the save so that Kat could get underneath it. That was a teamwork effort right there.
Main man Todd Hansen here. 14-7 advantage for Centennial here in the first set. And a big block there for Chime in the middle, and there is that athleticism and height.
Well, and like I said, that middle did not have to move. She didn't have to move. The ball was set right in front of the middle. I think if they're going to set that middle again, they got to make the middle move.
And then there is a great combat by Morgan George with the nice hit right there in the middle. And one thing that Kim Harper said is that Isla Rose is going to get a lot of the attention tonight at the net for them. And so it's going to come down to players like Morgan George to be able to play as well as they can. Jordan Kennedy also there at the net.
Well, honestly, I don't think Eastlake was aware that the setter was in the front row because the setter can hit when she's in the front row, and they weren't ready for it.
Titans with the ball. Casey Papa once again, who started off the night serving, is back at the serving line for head coach Elizabeth Lau and the Eastlake Titans.
Yeah.
There you go, Jordan Kennedy. We talk about those two players that really need to step up well as Isla Rose gets all the attention. It's Morgan George and Jordan Kennedy, and they've both done their job here in the middle of this set. Now it's a 16-9 advantage for Centennial. Cat Wolf Smith back to serve. That is some height on number 7 there for Eastlake.
Yeah.
Noelle Brockus. Great defense by both teams here on this rally. There's Isla Rose.
Yeah.
And all three players at the net have done their job here in the last 5 points for Centennial. It's now a 17-9 advantage. How key is that when you have three great hitters at the net that combat the athleticism on the other side?
Well, it's very hard because you're going to have, like I said earlier, you're making a move. It's never going to go to the same hitter twice because all three hitters can do something for you. So those blockers have to move and be thinking off the set.
And there is a beautifully placed set. When you ask a setter and you're asking them for placement, are you ever asking them to hit that far back with accuracy?
Are you talking about the serve?
Yeah, on the serve. I apologize.
That's one of the best places you can, because they have to decide, is it in or out? That's one thing, so their mind has to make the decision. And then it's a harder ball to pass because you have to move backwards.
You think she was coached by her mother on that?
Oh, for sure.
And we got a 4-point rally going for the Golden Hawks. It's now a double-digit advantage for the first time tonight. 19-9. Centennial trying to open up this SoCal Regional Championship with a 1-0 lead. See how this goes. That one hits the net and falls to the court. So another ace for Catwolf Smith.
Yeah, so see, Catwolf went from very far, deep in the court all the way to the end line, and then all of a sudden a short flat ball, it hits the tape and goes short. So Eastlake is a little frustrated right now in serve receive.
And as a coach, do you know when you're pinpointing, obviously, the placement, the quadrants that you're looking at?
Correct. And Harper's over there calling the serves. So the nice thing is to be able to have the players that can go out and execute them. So that's awesome.
That is a 6-0 run with Catwolf Smith, the very talented sophomore libero for Centennial at the serve. And there's Chime to end that run with another kill in the middle. It is now 21-10 lead. If you're Centennial right now and you're 4 points away from taking this first set, what's your mindset if you're coaching in this match right now?
Just play the game. Don't do anything fancy. What's been working in the beginning of this game is going to work now also. So just continue to play. Don't make the errors. Let Eastlake, who right now has been struggling a bit, let them continue to make the errors.
And I asked Kim Harper about that earlier. Is there anything special you're doing tonight? And she goes, no way. Not at this point. We do exactly what we've been doing all year long. Because you try to mess with anything now, it's only going to confuse your players, correct? Isla Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Isla Rose.
Very, very smart offensive attack because they moved Isla around the front. She was lined up on the back, and she moved around the front. So, again, those blockers weren't 100% where it was going.
All right, Morgan George back to serve. Oh, what a hit there by Ivana Rivera-Vargas. Just a phenomenal athlete. And a great cross-court hit.
Yeah.
How do you defend that?
Got to get your hands on that ball as she's hitting it, but the block is a little bit smaller than her jump.
Hard hit there by Isla Rose. Goes long, and it's a 2-point rally now for the Titans. And now they're back within 9, 22-13.
Yeah.
Nice serve there.
Nice flat serve again, probably a lot of motion, and it's coming straight at the middle of your body, which is tough to pass.
So that's Casey Papa, the junior libero DS. Take a little time. Her shoelaces came undone.
Yeah.
Hits it so hard she breaks her laces. Julian knows a few things about that, breaking laces. Decleating fools. Isla Rose in the middle.
Short, yeah.
Nice soft touch. Oh, back row.
Yeah, she actually had her toes, I think, on that 10-foot line.
So that's Ricky Serrano, who's going to take a timeout. Oh, he's going to call it a jump.
Replay.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to take that point off the board. Our officials tonight, Ricky Serrano up on the top.
And that's because she did have her toes on the line, but she dropped her hand below the tape, so that became legal.
Billy Jennings, and then our line judges are Chris Gerhardt and Junior over there, one of the longtime great officials here in town. Another long shot, so we're right back where we would have been, and that's point Eastlake, and now it's 22-15, a 4-0 run for the Titans. Casey Papa on the serve. Rose again, soft touch, received well.
Good touch by Ivana again off that block.
And we have a timeout, Centennial. It is a 5-0 run for the Titans, and it's a 22-16 advantage for the Golden Hawks. Let's go a little bit more into the history of the state championships, seeing if Centennial is able to get through this one and what else they've seen. It was Highland in 1988 winning the D2 title, and that was Dale Barker leading the Scots in a victory over Petaluma. And like we said, in 1990, you, Coach Garces, you guys lost, unfortunately, to Linden that night in 5 sets. And I want to talk about how long that match took, because 5 sets back in 1990 is much different than 5 sets now.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, because I do remember, obviously, that match. But it was really a lopsided match, our particular match, because it was like 15-7 us, and then it was 8-15, and then it was 6-15. I can't remember the exact scores, but it was very, like one team dominated and the next team dominated.
But it was non-rally scoring
But it
back
was non-rally
then.
scoring.
And
But
so how long do you think, can you remember how long that match took?
because the games were a little bit uneven, it wasn't as long as like a super tight scored game. But I would say without rally scoring, games were, well, they were twice as long.
Yeah. Nice block there.
Nope.
That is number 17.
No, that was a good use
Oh,
by
that
Isla
was?
Rose. Yeah,
Oh,
that was a
hey.
nice. She used that block to hit it out of bounds. Very smart.
Here I was thinking the ball.
Left-handers,
Yep.
left-handers can do that a little bit easier on that outside when that block's moving towards the antenna.
Once this set is over, I want you to explain what the scoring was like and why it was so much different before they switched it over in 2003. A net violation, a rare error for either one of these teams.
Yeah, she didn't get that one over. She tried to tip it and it went right into the tape.
So here we go. Set point coming with Isla Rose on the serve for Centennial. 24-16 advantage for the G-Hawks. Can they take the 1-0 advantage right here? Let's see. Nice rally. And that one's out. Goes wide. 25-16 advantage for Centennial, and they lead the first set here.
Well,
in the CIF Division II SoCal Regional Championships, 1-0 over Eastlake.
so to talk about the scoring that you were saying, basically rally scoring, every single thing that happens in a game of rally scoring, somebody scores.
Right.
Well, back in the day, it was side-out volleyball. So if I served, and let's say I hit it in the net, nobody scored. The other team just got the opportunity to serve. So it was you sided out, and the other team got the opportunity to score. So the games were so long and so brutal, and we only played to 15, but because you had to earn every point, they could go on forever. Like you know, now when you play a rally scoring game and it's like 13-13 in the fifth, you know it could be over in 2 touches. Well, it wasn't like that then. You could miss your serve, nobody scores. You know, the other team gets the ball. They miss their serve, nobody scores. So you just keep transferring. Even though you could make errors, it didn't cost you a point.
So I have a question. So if you have a serve that hits the net, do you keep it, or is it side out to the other team and just no points scored?
And that's the other thing. Back in that day, you could not hit the net on the serve. So it had to clearly go over. So if you missed your serve in any way, hit the net, hit it out of bounds.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it hits the net and it doesn't go over, is it a side out and the other team gets it, but just no point?
Correct. Nobody scored.
That's incredible.
Nobody scored. So I could get up, like what that girl just did a second ago, the number 1, Ivana, when she went up on the game point. She went up, she swung hard, and she swung out of bounds. We'd still be playing.
Yeah. It would be Centennial's ball, but no point awarded.
Correct.
That is incredible.
So you had a little bit more of a risk factor back then, is what I would say, because you could go up and swing hard like that, make an error, and you knew nobody was going to score. You just had to now try and side out. It was a whole different mindset. Now you can't go up and swing really hard and make an error because it could be game point and you lose.
Sarah Slayton-Price, I was talking with her this afternoon, and she talked about a match that she played against Taft back when she was a freshman, and that match went 5.5 hours. That is just absolutely astonishing to me that a volleyball match could go that long.
I believe it. No, Taft was very, very good. They had some talented athletes. We played against Taft, too. I don't remember hours like Sarah remembers, but it was just how we played, so everything was long. If it was a competitive match, you knew you weren't going to be out of there for less than 3 hours.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Trevor Horn along with Maria Callouts with Juliana Wilson on the board and behind the camera. We are the NFHS network here we are the Kern High network here on an NFHS network with the CIF Southern California Division II Girls Volleyball Regional Championship. The winner here tonight moves on to the state championships at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Nice block at the net by the Golden Hawks. Nice little dink. And again, that is Ariel Chime, and she gets Eastlake on the board early here. Eastlake, like we've said, is a team that is synonymous with Southern California regional playoffs. Last year, they went 27-14, lost to Bishop Alamany in the Division I SoCal Regional opening round. 2022, they were 28-11. They lost to Francis Parker in the D2 SoCal semifinals. In 2021, they lost to Sierra Canyon Division I SoCal semifinals. Side out Centennial, and then we had the COVID year in 2020 where there was no state playoffs. But in 2019, they lost to Ontario Christian, the eventual state champions, in the SoCal D2 quarterfinals with 36 victories that year.
Wow. Very talented team.
And a block at the net there for Chime. It is now 3-0 Eastlake here in the opening set.
Oh, nice call. See, that's Kat Wolf just knowing. She's got that instinct to know that was out of bounds.
Because she's a young lady that has grown up around volleyball since birth.
For sure. Yeah.
Much like your daughters.
Yeah, 100%. She's got great ball control.
Nice serve there. Great receive. Another hit of the net going long, and another side out, or another point here for Centennial, and Kat Wolf-Smith again with another rally for Centennial at the serve. John Price walking in the door. Much like you, a recent retiree from the sport of volleyball.
Oh, yep.
For those that don't know the name John Price, he recently was assistant coach at Cal State Northridge.
He was the head coach.
Head coach.
He was the head coach, yep.
I knew that. I don't know why I said anything other than you want to know why, because he was Kim's assistant coach at Garces.
Correct.
When he was taking a little time away from the college game.
Yes.
But going back and being the head coach at Cal State Northridge. What's incredible as Centennial now with another rally and nice little point. Can you explain that point real quick for us, Maria?
Again, the block, the hitter hit into that block, and again, not hitting in the hands, hitting in an area where they can't control, and it hit their arms and went out of bounds. So that's Centennial's point.
Going back to John Price, he drove every day to Cal State Northridge from Bakersfield.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely, and because his wife, who is on staff here at Centennial's assistant coach, Sarah Slayton Price.
Yes. Another little tidbit about John Price I found out not too long ago. He and I are from the same hometown.
Which is?
Monrovia, California. Down past Pasadena.
Yep. Forgive me if I get this incorrect, but that is the home of Trader Joe's.
It is the home of Trader Joe's. Yep.
Hey! A little tidbit.
Yep.
All right, a 4-3 advantage for Eastlake here in the second set. Centennial won the opening set 25-16. Take a 1-0 lead here in the SoCal D2 Regional Championships.
That they're just hitting into that block, and that block is not controlling the ball at all, so it keeps going out of bounds to Centennial's advantage.
So we're all knotted up here, 4-4 here in the second set. Hit goes long there for Addison Oram. And for the first time in this second set, it is I apologize.
Yeah,
was that hit at the net?
No, I think they called a touch.
Yeah.
That was a late call, or I didn't see the linesman. He might have called it right away.
So So a 5-4 advantage for the Titans. Not the Frontier Titans for you locals. Eastlake Titans. And a nice shot there by Isla Rose with the side out, not it right back up at 5-5. What is the biggest takeaway that you've seen out of these two teams that we've played now about a set and a quarter?
Right now, Centennial's pretty consistent, which is really working to their advantage. Eastlake kind of on a roller coaster. They make, a bad serve receive, and they make a couple hitting errors. But Centennial has been very consistent, and that's definitely working to their advantage.
With Seapora Hayes, the junior middle blocker, number 17, with the kill there for the Titans and a 6-5 advantage. As we have Noel Barkas back at the serve for Eastlake. Received by Catwolf Smith.
Yeah, use the block again.
Yep.
Yeah, number 10, the outside here, Kennedy from Eastlake. I mean, her hands were on our side of the net, and so all you got to do is hit into those hands, and they have no control of it. And that's why it's going out of bounds.
All knotted up here, 6-6. Nice recovery there. Just wasn't able to get back over the net for Centennial. Side out, Eastlake.
A little miscommunication between those two girls, I think.
Coach, we talk about the travel for Eastlake having to come back up to Bakersfield after being here on Saturday, but the sport of volleyball, you guys spend so much time, whether it's in high school or club, on the road, traveling, early morning, late nights. Is it really that much of an advantage to be at home? I mean, there's an advantage to being at home, but is it really that much of a distraction for these girls that have played at such a high level, traveling as much as they do at this point?
I think Centennial, the girls from Bakersfield have to travel way more than any team from down there. They have club tournaments right there in their backyard a lot of the time, so they don't have to travel too much. For us to get to our closest club tournament, it's a minimum of 2 hours. So Centennial is a little bit more used to traveling than I would say Eastlake is, at least in the club situation. I think if you're a good team, sure, it's nice to be at home, but you can regroup on an away game and do just fine. Eastlake is just struggling right now on serve receive. Another bad pass, yeah.
And another great serve for Natalie Alcorn, and it's now a 9-7 advantage for the Golden Hawks, who trailed 3-0 early in this one.
Mm-hmm. That's a great serve to their libero, 2 in a row. The libero is usually the one you want to avoid on serve receive.
A 10-7 advantage for Centennial. We'd like to take this time once again to thank the Centennial administration for housing us here tonight. Principal Ryan Coleman, AP of Instruction, Carrie Palacios, AP of Administration, Nicole Oliver, Dean of Student Behavior and Supports, Kathleen Buford, Dean of Student Behavior and Supports, Anthony Ranzik, Athletic Director Tom Haskell, and Activities Director Jana Chapman. And also cannot forget those that have allowed us to put on these wonderful broadcasts, the Kern High Network, and the Office of Student School Support Services, Director Stan Green, and of course, our sponsor, Valley Strong Credit Union. Thank you. Natalie Alcorn at the serve is a 10-7 advantage here in the second set. Nice long serve there. Recovered there by the Titans. Jordan Kennedy once again, her shot unable to be corralled.
Nice swing. Nice swing into that block again. Just catching them off guard.
And another hit goes long.
That
Start seeing these coming along. Where's your confidence if you're Centennial, knowing that they're unable to place the ball?
Well, like I said, Centennial's just been very consistent, and Eastlake is struggling. Like if they struggle on serve receive passing, then we get a great pass and they're struggling on hitting. So Eastlake has not put it together yet.
Another point and 7-0 rally. It was 7-6 before Natalie Alcorn took the serve, and now it's 13-7 advantage for the Golden Hawks. Momentum, Maria.
Oh, for sure.
As we talk about it, there is Sephora Hayes once again. She seems to be the rally killer tonight for the Titans.
And that's just smart. I mean, they swung a couple of times and they made some hard swings and they made errors. And Centennial's kind of waiting for that long, hard hit, and then she drops it short. So just kind of changing things up sometimes takes that defense out of play.
Centennial looking for the side out after a 7-0 rally, and there it goes right there.
Yeah,
as quickly as I could get it out of my mouth, it happens on the court.
Yeah, does another short ball. That short game is really struggling. Actually, both sides. It's struggling both sides a little bit, but Centennial is definitely recovering better.
Much shorter lineup here for the Titans as we see two of their bigs coming out. So we'll see if Centennial can take advantage of that. But there is Chime.
Yeah, she was standing out there on the far side.
Yep. Just waiting for that opportunity as Addison Ormond returns onto the court for Eastlake. Serving with trailing 14-9 to Centennial. Centennial taking the opening set 25-16 here in the SoCal D2 Regional Championships. A nice block there by Chime, so that's back-to-back points for the future Vanderbilt standout.
Yeah, a little bit higher set to Isla, giving that block a little bit more time to set up.
Nice recovery there for Centennial. Chime once again, and that's a 3-0 rally, and all off of her right arm.
Yeah, and then Chime just went into Centennial's hands and worked it out of bounds.
Isla Rose, and it is called in. Oh.
The up official and the sideline official called it out. So it was out the sideline. It was in the back line.
Sorry, I was just looking at the.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why you're here. That's why you're a future Hall of Famer.
Well, thank you.
Always.
Nice.
Nice dig there for Centennial off that hard block.
There's that
and
short ball again.
Yep.
Very smart. Very, very smart.
It's as if Isla Rose comes from an athletic background in her family as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I coached against her mom. She played for Highland.
And her dad is an Arvin boy. If Vance was here, he'd say that's God's country.
Uh-huh, he would. Yeah, and there's the short,
Chime one more
short
time.
game from Eastlake, yep.
And that cuts the lead to 15-13 for Centennial. I'd be remiss if we didn't, welcome and congratulations to Vance Palm and his daughter Ava as she celebrates her senior night at Syracuse this week. That's the reason that Vance is off the call tonight. I appreciate them, calling me and having me on here, but it is, Vance is well missed when he's not in town. But I know that he is having an absolute blast in New York.
Absolutely. I'm so happy for them. It's great to see Ava doing so well.
Just an update in water polo action. Frontier, the first Kern High School District program to play in the CIF NorCal Regional Playoffs after winning the Central Section Division III title on Saturday, falls in the opening round of the playoffs 16-6. It does not diminish the fact of what Heather Vargas and that team did. They had 10 freshmen 4 years ago that opened that program up for Frontier. And here they are 4 years later, those 10 seniors still on the team, and they walk away Central Section champs in the first Kern High School District program to win a water polo championship, and they did that Saturday up at Hanford. Absolutely phenomenal win for them over Golden West, and just the excitement level for Principal Vicki Johnson, for Athletic Director Mike Gibson, for Heather Vargas, and her daughter, Layla, who is, the Defensive Player of the Year in the River League this year. Just a phenomenal moment for them.
How awesome is that to keep that group together and then have that success in the end? That's amazing.
I mean, you remember what it was like to, you didn't start a program, but well, no, you did start a program. You did start a program. And there's an ace for the Titans as we get back to this match. And that ties it up, ladies and gentlemen, 15-15. After it was a 14-8 advantage, a 15-12 advantage for Centennial is all knotted up here at 15-15. This is the reason why both of these teams are here in this game. It's because they're both incredibly talented. And there's a side out.
Yeah.
But you remember that, what it was like to have only freshmen and sophomores on a team and have to compete against.
Oh, yeah. We had to, I think back and I'm like, what a privilege it was. It was awesome because to see the growth and see us, end up in the end playing well as a team, like you said, when they were seniors, it was great.
Net violation against the Titans and a point for Centennial. But is that a maturation? Do your players become more mature at a younger age because you're asking so much of them as freshmen and sophomores?
Oh, I
when
definitely
you're opening
think
up a
so.
program?
I definitely think so because, and it depends on how you develop them, but you put a lot more on them than just volleyball. Like, we made them better athletes and hopefully better thinkers of the game, and to see all of it come together is what makes it fun.
And you did that at Stockdale. Brooke Roberts is the one that did it here. Brooke Roberts, a Bob Elias Hall of Famer, a national champion, a two-time state champ, 4 years in a row, won section championships. You were doing it at the D2 level while she was doing it at the D1 level. How much fun was that in the mid-90s? Kind of like what we saw this year with Centennial and Liberty and BCHS here in the state playoffs.
I think it's one of those things you don't appreciate it when you're in the thick of it. But I look back now, and it was an amazing accomplishment to have both of us, being successful at two different levels. And Centennial was they were impressive. They were so good.
And the husband of another state champion here in Kern County, Daryl Ballard, just walks by. His wife, Judy Rexroth, won the section title or the state title for Bakersfield Christian back in 2006.
Yep, and I also had Judy on my team and club too.
Such a tight-knit community for volleyball here in Kern County. It's no longer a 6 degrees Kevin Bacon of separation. There's about 3 degrees in the volleyball community here.
For sure.
And a side out, and now it's a 19-17 advantage for Centennial here in the second set.
Yep, they just got to settle down and get a good pass right here. Get back into that consistent flow they had before.
And get the crowd back into it too, right?
Short ball.
Nice recovery there by the Titans. Finally, Centennial able to capitalize on that rally.
Good job by Brooke. Is it Towel?
Yeah.
Towel, I think it is. But good job by her going up there and just taking a hard swing, not being afraid.
We just talked about freshmen that you had. Here's a freshman that Kim Harper has, and it's a 20-17 advantage.
Yeah,
for Centennial.
That was impressive. Again, that's a maturation probably throughout the season. I don't know if she probably was doing that in August, but that was a great swing for her to go up and confidently put that away.
A couple other notes. We've talked about Centennial winning back-to-back state titles. How about Liberty winning the state title with Leanne Slayton, who happens to be the cousin by marriage of Sarah Slayton Price, who's here. And let me guess, you guys either coached together or she played for you.
I remember Leanne at North. I do. I coached against her.
Yep,
I remember Leanne at North.
So they won the state title against Los Gatos back in 2002. And then in 1994, Archbishop Mitty, probably the greatest high school volleyball program in national history.
Yeah, they're
defeated Centennial in 1994.
Frustrating. They're so good year in and year out.
Year in and year out. You just look at the annals of the state records, and Archbishop Mitty just litters it.
Yes.
Just a phenomenal program there in the San Jose region of the Bay Area, which I was at Saturday.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And Centennial with the point. Now it's a 21-17 advantage. Centennial is in control here to try to take a very crucial 2-0 lead here in the regional championships with a berth to the state finals on the line.
Yeah, they're playing very consistent.
And the freshman with a nice serve there for the G-Hawks. Morgan George with a nice receive. Oh, great dig by the libero for the Titans.
Yeah.
And another hit goes right into the net. Another error, unforced error for the Titans.
Yeah,
and a
Ivana,
5-point advantage.
Their number one outside is just not getting the greatest sets right now, so they're struggling.
And she is highly talented. Obviously going to play beach for Stanford in college. What's the difference between a player's skill set in beach compared to indoor? That ball fell in.
Yeah, I'm not expert on the beach, but it's just obvious just for the fact that you've only got 2 players on an entire court in beach. So the athleticism and the ability to be able to move and read, it's just a wide open court in beach.
And the athleticism just
Yeah,
to continually be moving and moving and moving.
Sideways, forward, backward, everything.
And height isn't always maybe your greatest strength. It's your ability to move and dig and find placement.
And place the ball. That's right. You can height definitely comes into favor if you're blocking, but that's not always going to work if you can get around that block.
Right. Much like that, can't get around that shot with the block. Jordan Kennedy with the point. And now it's 23-19 Golden Hawks, and they're just 2 points away from taking a 2-0 lead here over a very, very, very talented Eastlake squad.
And they've got Natalie Alcornbacker, who's served a great streak before.
The lefty.
Ooh, net
violation against.
Yep.
23-20 advantage for Centennial, side out for the Titans as we see Hayes sit down. And in comes Paige Sinclair, the junior setter, opposite number 14, coming in to serve. Beautiful play there by Addison Carter. And now we are at set point. 24-20 lead for Centennial here in the second set. Kate Johns, the senior. These seniors being able to play in this match, knowing that, they're playing to do what not a lot of seniors get to do and play that ultimate game. And that's the state championships on Saturday. It's
got to be an awesome feeling.
Great hit there. Nice placement. Elizabeth Heath, side out, 24-21 advantage. Paige Sinclair.
Their setter.
Isla Rose with a nice dump at the net. And a 25-21 victory here in the second set for Centennial. And they now lead Eastlake 2-0 in the CIF Southern California Division II Regional Championships. Just one set away from moving on to the state championships. Absolutely incredible. I'm Trevor Horn. Maria Colat's here for Kern High Network here on the NFHS Network. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Hey, Dad! Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
No, not really.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll talk about this later.
We are back here on the Kern High Network, broadcasting here on the NFHS Network. I'm Trevor Horner along with Maria Colatz and our director, Julian Wilson, here at the CIF Southern California Division II Regional Championships. Number 2 seed Centennial Golden Hawks with a 2-0 advantage here against the number 5 East Lake Titans. Coach, a 2-0 lead for Centennial. I'm going to ask you both sides of this. What is your mindset when you're up 2-0, and then what is your mindset as a coach talking to your players here in the timeout if you're down 2-0 in a game where you're just moments away from the state championship?
Well, Centennial needs to keep the mindset of we just got to continue to play point. You can't look beyond what you're doing right there in that particular moment and just continue to play consistently. I think that's what Centennial is doing really well tonight. They are consistent. They serve received well. They're serving well. They're doing a really good job at using that tall block. So they've been consistent. On the other hand, over here for Eastlake, they have to believe they can win. They have to get back into their their groove. They need to serve receive better, which I'm sure they're capable of because they're in the central section or the state semifinals. So I know they're capable of it. They just got to get themselves back into what I think they're probably capable of doing. They just haven't really consistently done it tonight.
And incredible when you think about it, too. You know, in 1990, you guys hosted that D3 SoCal regional game, knowing that you're going to have to go on the road because it's a neutral site for the state championship. For this Centennial team to have this crowd and their fans and their fellow students and their parents and everybody here celebrating them and enjoying the fruits of their labor, especially over these 3 games of the state playoffs, now the 4th one here. How a mindset as a coach and a player, how much of an advantage and how much fun is that?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And honestly, they're not thinking about any kind of travel on Saturday. They're thinking about this match right here in front of them. So, which is smart, and that's why they're doing so well, is because they're playing very consistent. They hit the net, I believe. Not sure who that was. Maybe the setter. I kind of missed that. I didn't see who hit the net.
Kim and Billy are talking right now, trying to figure that one out. Okay.
It was right away. I just happened to miss which one it was.
So a 1-0 advantage for the Titans here in the 3rd set, trailing 2-0 to Centennial. Both teams so great on the back line. Really hard to get anything going for both of these teams as long as that ball goes inside. And that one went in. Yeah,
that was a good hit. Again, I don't think Eastlake is prepared for these quick sets. They're doing it. Centennial is doing a good enough job with their ball control to be able to set those quick balls, and Eastlake is struggling to block them.
Well, and the hitting percentage between these two teams tonight is such a stark contrast between the programs, and part of the reason why you have a 2-0 advantage for Centennial.
Exactly.
Another great block there by Chime in the middle, but again, the defense for Centennial able to combat it.
Yep.
But unable to do it there, as that is Addison Orem once again with the side out and a 2-1 advantage for Eastlake.
And that's what I'm talking about. That wasn't that flashy of a hit, but it was to open space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that open space is something that the Titans haven't been able to do
Correct.
With consistency tonight, something that they obviously have been doing for years.
Right.
And not tonight, though. Much like Isla Rose right there, hitting that back line about as powerful and precise as you can get it.
Yeah, that was a great hit. Again, though, I got to give credit to that setter and that pass. That doesn't happen all by herself. That was a great team effort.
Morgan George is having 8.2 assists per set this season. There's a little miscommunication for the Titans, and that's a big reason why. No hitter is great without a wonderful setter.
Yeah, that was, again, a great hit by the offense for Centennial that just caught Eastlake out of position defensively.
And obviously we've talked about it before. Isla Rose doing her job. She is the top hitter for Centennial this year, 384 kills coming in. And a great block in the middle for Centennial.
Very good.
Kat Wolf-Smith, obviously the libero, leading the team with Diggs. Isla Rose right there, Morgan George, Kate Johns. When you have that many people averaging between 2.6 and 5.3, you have 4 different players averaging that many digs. That means your defense is doing something
pretty
well.
Solid, for sure.
Short touch there received by Morgan George.
Free ball coming Centennial's way.
And a great block there again by Chime. Side out cuts the lead to 4-3 for Centennial, and they'll get the ball right back to libero Leila Renante, the senior for the Titans. Great dig there by Natalie Alcorn. That's just two Division I athletes going at it right there. Because Kat Wolf-Smith will be a Division I athlete once her high school career is over.
Yes. Try to get the short ball again. See.
Oh, what a beautiful dink by Morgan George. Coach, when you have a setter that's that tall and that ability to just kind of have that court awareness, it's invaluable.
That was just smart. It wasn't anything fancy, but she definitely did not think Eastlake would be ready for it. All she had to do is put it over.
Almost a great dig and play there by Centennial, but Sephora Hayes, once again, the junior middle blocker with the point there in the side out for Eastlake. You can feel the tension in the air.
Oh, yeah.
And you can feel the roof about ready to pop off on this one, too. Especially if Isla Rose continues to get open looks like that and is able to find the back of the court. It's just incredible. That's got to be at least 8 kills for her tonight that have just gone straight to the back, that back corner.
Yeah, and like I said, she's smart. In the beginning, she was going short. Now she's going long. Isla's a hard one to block. Left-handers on the outside. At some points, it can be a little bit easier because the high set to the left hand you can get in front of, but she is so good and so quick.
And there's Hayes once again. She is just the rally killer tonight for the Titans. The one real big high spot. Every time Centennial seems to have something moving, she's like, no, we're going to set it back and see what we can find.
And, again, not overly flashy, but very smart.
And that serve goes long. Can't have unforced errors when you're down 2-0 in a match of this magnitude.
No, especially not that kind of an error.
As a head coach, how frustrated do you get when you have serves go awry, when you know that that's something that just you got to get a point going?
Well, I mean, at that point, that was 3-4 feet out of bounds. That's an easy call for a back row player. Make it a little bit shorter. Make them make a decision at least. Nice
play there, net there for the Titans. They get the side out, and it's now down to a 7-6 advantage for Centennial here in the third set. Centennial leads this CIF SoCal Division II Regional Championships 2-0. The G-Hawks looking to go back to the state championships for the first time since winning the national title back in 1996. 8-6 advantage now for Centennial. Chime at the net. Well received there by Alcorn. And that hit goes out of bounds. Are they looking for a touch? Nope. No touch, out of bounds, side out. Titans.
Sometimes it just sounds like there's a touch, but I don't know that I saw one.
Well, there was a touch
Very
there,
nice.
and it was a nice, hard hit by Jordan Kennedy.
Jordan Kennedy.
This is a Centennial team that you've seen twice this year, obviously, like you do every year in league. Is there any difference between what you're seeing on this group now that maybe you didn't see in league this year?
I think they're better at being consistent. They're not making errors. They're getting after it and swinging hard and very confident with what they're doing. But they're just a very talented team. I mean, you got 3 very good hitters. I mean, the setter right now is in the front row, but they can go to anybody, and at any point they can put the ball away. So that's always tough to defend.
And now it's a 10-7 advantage for Centennial, the largest lead either team has had here in the third set. Centennial does have the 2-0 advantage after taking the sets, 25-16, 25-21 to take the 2-0 lead here over Eastlake. I'm Trevor Horn along with Maria Kolatz and Julian Wilson here on the Kern High Network, broadcast on the NFHS Network, here in the CIF Southern California Division II Regional Championships. The winner tonight will head off and play at Santiago Canyon College down in the city of Orange. One of my buddies is a detective for the police department down there, a place that I've been once for state championship. I watched, the year before I moved here, I watched Granite Bay go 36-0 that year and beat Los Alamitos for the Division I title.
Oh,
Such a cool environment, such a great place to have that game, and
It
a great
is.
pizza parlor right across the street.
It is a great atmosphere.
On the other side of it, it's number 1 San Ramon Valley taking on number 3 Buchanan. So we could possibly have an all Central Section championship in Division II down in Orange County tonight. But we still got to play this one out and play the Northern California one between San Ramon Valley, which is in Danville up north, and Buchanan, which is out of Clovis, which is here in the Central Section. Did you play Buchanan this year, Coach?
We did. Very talented team. Again, not a lot of weaknesses.
And there's Chime once again with the side out and the kill right there at the net. And it's a 10-8 advantage. How cool would that be to see 2 Central Section teams go at it for a state championship?
I mean, that would be awesome. That would be great to see.
Buchanan advanced after beating Oak Ridge on the road. It was a side out.
Yeah, Eastlake does not need to be making those unforced serving errors. Like, again, that's one of the worst serving errors you can make in the net. Not even over where the other team has to make a decision if it's in or out.
Cat Wolf Smith, great rotation on that ball.
Yeah,
Did you
that
see
ball
that thing
dropped.
move?
Yeah, that was a great ball.
Back-to-back aces
Yeah.
for the sophomore sensation for Centennial. Cat in her first year here at Centennial after transfer from Garces. Stand out as a freshman last year for the Rams. Played for her mother, who was the head coach at Garces the previous 4 years. Nice placement there by Chime. But Chime sits out of this rotation and brings in Hayes.
Yeah,
so that'll be interesting.
she goes to the back row.
Yep.
She's got to get out of the game. But Sephora has done a great job when she's in the front row, too. We keep talking about how she's kind of the one that gets them out of their groove
The
a little
rally
bit.
killer,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
will.
the rally killer. That's what she called her.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say that. Not your daughter.
Oh.
Our
Oh.
our in the huddle director,
Oh, okay.
Alex Torres. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Another service error, and again a bad one. That was 8 feet a minimum out of bounds.
And you're down by
Yeah,
3 points, and you're down 2-0. You can't have those moments.
Eastlake needs to mentally pull this together if they're going to stay in this match. That's another error.
Another unforced error
That's
for
another
the
error.
Titans,
Yeah.
and you know, and
And you
obviously
can
we
kind of
have-
tell by their demeanor on the court. You can just look at Eastlake right now and just, a lot of not happy faces, not a lot of positive body language, which is not a good sign for them, but a great sign for Centennial.
And much like last Tuesday against Long Beach Poly, Centennial not looking the part of a giant killer. Because I say that because Long Beach Poly walked in the door with 5'10", 5'11", 6'1" hitters across the board, much like Eastlake has here done tonight. Another great hit there, though, by Ivana Rivera Vargas. But they're able to withstand the power on the other side by playing so consistently against these teams that, as you look at them, they pass the eye test more than Centennial may do.
Oh, Centennial is very deceiving in the fact that they're very well coached. They're in the right places at the right time. They're very smart offensively tonight. They've been just using that block and putting the ball at weird angles that's hurting their block. And that's what's causing them to be so off balance, or Eastlake to be so off balance. They're doing a really good job. That block, even though Centennial's block's not as tall as Eastlake's, it's very efficient. It's doing enough to slow the ball down.
And there's Rivera Vargas once again, the Stanford commit, doing what she does best, getting to the net and finding the court. George
Out.
DeRose
Yep.
unable to get that ball.
See, and that was very smart by Isla again. That's one thing I'll say about Centennial too is they'll hit, and then they'll go short. Or just then, that was almost like an off-speed kind of swing where the hitter was back on her heels ready for a hard ball, but it wasn't quite a hard ball. It was a little bit taken off of it, so caused a bad pass, a bad dig.
And there's Isla Rose back to serve, that lefty. And there she is again, Rivera Vargas. I figured we would have called her name a lot more tonight, but
Yeah.
here she is. You know, in the tightest moments, you find your best players are the ones that rise to the occasion, and they need her to really rise. Down by 3, knowing that this is it. If they lose this set, it's all over.
They really do. And, you know, a little bit in her defense is that the sets have been a struggle for her. She needs to do a little bit better with what she's getting, but she...
Is there a tip? No tip.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Coach.
She needs to do a little bit better with what she's getting as far as her sets, but the sets have been a little bit off the net. Like that one right there was a perfect ball, and she put it right where she needed to.
What a rally.
Yeah, they just set Ivana again out of the back row, and instead of swinging hard, she swung short, and Centennial was all over it. They picked it up great.
All right, it's down to a 1-point advantage, 15-14 here for Centennial in the third set. They lead 2-0 over Eastlake. And both teams looking for anything on this rally. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And it goes to Centennial on the block.
See, again, that was just a great, strong block facing the right direction. So rather than her getting used, it worked to Centennial's advantage and stayed in.
Let's talk about Kim Harper's keys to the game and see how accurate she was to the success for tonight. Serve tough, pass well, serve receive well, finish and play the whole rally.
Yeah. Well, number 1 and 2, they're doing really well. I mean, they're serving really well. They're passing and serve receiving really well. I would say she didn't mention offense, but boy, she's doing a really good job. All those hitters of using
Well, the
that
next
block.
thing she talked about was attacking, playing aggressive, and setting the tone early.
They're doing it. They're doing it for sure.
Get the entire roster involved, which she is doing. And then I asked her, I said, Coach, what are going to be the keys to Centennial winning this and playing on Saturday? She goes, well, I didn't even know we were playing on Saturday because I'm not looking that far ahead.
Yeah.
And I said,
That's a good coach.
That's a great coach's mindset.
Yeah.
As a 17-15 advantage here for Centennial. She said, keep doing what we've been playing as a team all year long. Kat leading on the defense, and with Isla being keyed on, having Morgan George and Jordan Kennedy lead at the net. And I think all of this has come to fruition tonight.
100%.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job. That's what I'm saying. They were a struggle during league, but they're even better at those things now.
No tip. Side out. Eastlake is now a 17-16 advantage. So this third set is going to come down to the wire. We're either going to go to a fourth set, or Centennial is going to be cheering and getting ready to ask Tom Haskell to find him a bus down to Orange County on Saturday.
Oh, that's an aggressive swing by
George
Kennedy.
to Kennedy,
Yeah,
George to
that's
Kennedy, George to Kennedy.
Aggressive sideline swing that if you're not there on defense, you're going to get beat.
Is Morgan George the player of the game tonight?
Oh,
Her and Kat
she is
Wolf-Smith
doing.
and
I
Isla
was going
Rose.
to say,
I mean, can you just give the whole roster the player of
George
the game now?
couldn't be setting without those great passes, but man, they're a phenomenal team. It's just a great. Their two middles are doing awesome too.
What a great block! Isla Rose right there in the middle to combat everything that Chime had, and is now a 3-point advantage, 19-16 for Centennial. My goodness, power on power.
I could just imagine that Eastlake is used to that ball going through, so that's got to be a little frustrating for them. The Centennial's doing such a good job at stopping them.
And another great block at the net, served well by the Titans. George, Kennedy, that one goes long. Side out. Titans, 19-17 lead for Centennial here in the third set. Centennial just 6 points away from punching a ticket to the state championship for the first time since winning the national title and the state title at the Division I level in 1996.
Yep.
And the first Bakersfield team to make it to the state finals
Oh.
since 2000. Oh, Kate Johns. She's going to want to have that one back. Just
Yeah.
couldn't get out of the way on a ball that was sailing right out of bounds.
Well, that goes to show you how much movement was on that ball.
Yeah.
She probably thought it was coming right at her and moved to the right, and then
Yep.
it came to the left. So, in her defense, that was probably a well-served ball.
She will be taking up high jumping this spring. We are going down to the wire. Catwolf Smith with another great dig. Isla Rose, tip,
Good swing.
point, Centennial, 20-18.
Again, she got just enough of a touch on that block that it messes up the defense because you think it's coming one direction and then it slows down a little bit because it hits that block, and that's a struggle for the defenders.
And you talked about it earlier. Let's go back to a left-hander on the left side hitting. Is such a different aspect than what you'll see from a right-hander.
It is, and like I said, at times it can be easier to block, but not when you're running the quicker offense like this, and Isla Rose has so much ability to hit wherever she wants. So that, like that ball right there, that deep ball, even though it was a throw, I mean, look where that defender had to go to try and touch that.
Well, and is it not more of a natural progression for a lefty there on the left side to be able to do that as a side out and makes it a one-point advantage? Isn't it more of a natural progression for somebody with a left hand to come over and hit it cross court?
You can hit much sharper with a left-hander on the outside, but again, sometimes, like I said, the block, if they're in the right place, that can be a little bit easier to block too. But she's got such capabilities that they don't know where it's going. Down the line, short, they can't tell.
Here's Rose again,
See,
and nice
there you
touch.
go. A little off speed, like I said.
Oh, my goodness.
But that placement is just, that's incredible. That is a left-hander placement. A right-hander would have a hard time doing that.
Isla Rose, just a junior. That's the great thing about Kern County. We get to see her play again next year. But at this point, we're going to be able to see her play again on Saturday at the rate this is going.
Yep, we are. Oh.
Nice play in the middle by Rivera Vargas. Your best players come up big at the moment you need them, and this is where Eastlake needs them. Down by one, 21-20. Their season is on the line, and Centennial is so close from punching a state championship berth, ladies and gentlemen. Catwolf Smith gets just enough of that to keep the rally going for Centennial. And there she is again, Hayes.
Yeah.
She's been so successful for the Titans tonight as they tie it up 21-21 here in the CIF Central section. I've done that twice now. CIF State, Southern California Regional Division II Championships. Number 2 Centennial hosting number 5 Eastlake. Centennial holds a 2-0 advantage after winning the first set 25-16, second set 25-21. But here we are, all knotted up, 21-21. And remember, this Eastlake team, they are no strangers to the state playoffs. They've been here every year that we've had a state championship, and I say that because of the COVID year we didn't have playoffs, since 2019. 15 of the last 17 years for this program at Eastlake, they've had at least 20 wins. This is a very talented, there is just a litany of great seasons for this team that is not just these players on the court. And that just shows you to how great this program is. But Centennial is a program that is synonymous for Central Section and state championships.
Exactly. Well, it's not like Eastlake doesn't know how to win. They do. They've obviously got themselves to this place this season and all those other seasons in the past. They know how to compete. But Centennial, I feel like I'm using the same word over and over again, but they have just been consistent. They have done well at many aspects of the game tonight, and that's what's keeping them in the game.
And Brooke Roberts sitting over there with her husband Randy, and they're watching this. And Brooke she's got to be a proud matriarch of the Centennial program watching this tonight.
Absolutely.
As you will be over the years as you come back to Stockdale and watch how well that program goes. But if you can kind of fast forward you to Brooke's spot, what do you think is going through the mind of somebody like Brooke Roberts?
Oh, man, she's got to be so excited. I mean, Sarah Slayton was on her team, and now she's out there coaching these girls and helping Kim Harper to get this team to where they are today. And like you said, if you look at just, the ability and the height in warm-ups, you would think Centennial is just, they're not on the flashy side, but man, are they consistent and coming together. She's got to be so proud of that.
Little confusion here about rotation?
No.
Or is there an issue with the ball?
I think someone's hurt or being taped, or I'm not sure if she has something on her
Is
jersey.
that the libero?
Yeah, number 4.
Leila Renate?
Something's going on with her, although I think if the referees have called the timeout, then that's why we have the ability. Oh, she's going to have to change her jersey, so she must have blood.
Okay.
Yeah, on her jersey.
And that would be part of the reason that the athletic equipment trainer for Centennial came over.
Yeah.
For just a moment, but it looks like she went into her bag and found her jersey.
Yeah,
unlike Centennial in the opening round where
interesting. It looked like she grabbed a green jersey, though. So if she's going to play libero, she's got to have it on a different color. She should have a different color jersey, so hopefully everything will work out.
So like we said, Centennial is just 4 points away from being the first Bakersfield program to make it to the state championship since Bakersfield Christian won the title in 2006 under Judy Rexroth. And here she is now wearing number 3. So she has gone from number 4 to number 3, which means Casey Papa has changed to which number? That means that somebody else will have, unless we have 2 number 3s out there, we're just going to.
Which you can't do that.
Unless Billy and Ricky have agreed to it.
That's what I'm saying. I honestly did not think you were able to do that.
Nope, we switched because now it looks like Casey Papa is now wearing number 3 in the green. You could see her right around the free throw line there. She is now wearing number 3. Her hands are on the hip with the pink shoes on.
Okay.
So it looks like the 2 of them just switched. Or one is now the libero and the other one is switched over. But either way, they've got it figured out.
That's the same libero, but you're right. I did not.
No,
she's wearing 4. The girl in the pink shoes is wearing number 4.
That's what I said. They switched numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they both play DS and libero. Yeah. And there's a point and a late lead for Eastlake now, 22-21. The first time they've had a lead in this match since it was 2-1.
Yeah, sometimes those little stalls, even though it was
Nothing.
Unavoidable.
It's a momentum killer.
Absolutely. Oh, that's it.
And that's a touch. And now it's a 23-21 advantage, and Eastlake not wanting to be swept in a quick timeout by Kim Harper, knowing that you never want to be the team to give up that third set in a match like this, because it can be a momentum killer, because it can change the trajectory mentally of both teams.
It can, absolutely. Centennial will be fine. Kim will get him in line right here. Just back to some good serve receive. They'll be fine.
Let's go back to this crowd. I mean, you look at the home side, and you guys can see the home side on your screen, Julian, if you can just pan up just a second, just kind of show how large this crowd is. And here on the visiting side, I mean, I would say we're about 70% capacity, and this Centennial is not a small gym in terms of high schools, and so we have a very large crowd. The student section there on the east side of or on the north side of the gym, cheerleaders, fans, family members, and those that just want to partake in the, biggest game of the year in Kern County.
Bakersfield volleyball.
Yep.
Everybody loves to come watch a good volleyball match. Thank
you, Julian. I appreciate you, brother. All right, here we go. 23-21 advantage for Eastlake. They're trying to stave off the
See, now that's one of the few times I think they knew it was going to go to Isla, because they just had that block sitting out there. So probably at the timeout they might have mentioned, hey, don't forget number 14, Isla's out there on that backside.
Yep. So here we go. Set point for Eastlake. First time we've said that this evening. Serves up. Great hit by the freshman, who's just having herself a game. Cuts the advantage and a side out to 2, 24-22 Eastlake. And Isla Rose back to serve. But now you've got Addison Carter, Jordan Kennedy.
That's a great front row.
Yep. On the front row for Centennial. Vargas with the hit. That is Rivera Vargas, and that is a 25-22 victory for Eastlake, and now cuts Centennial's lead to 2-1 here in the CIF Southern California Regional Division II Girls Volleyball Championships. It is now a 2-1 advantage for Centennial. I'm Trevor Horn, Maria Koletz, Julian Wilson. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back. We got more volleyball, ladies and gentlemen.
take cash, direct deposit, or check.
I think a pony is a smart investment.
My rate for dishes is going up with inflation.
Is my weekly allowance up for a negotiation?
I'm also open to a salary position. Hey! You should be earning interest on your savings. Make the money work for you.
Welcome back to Kern High Network here on the NFHS Network. I'm Trevor Horn along with Maria Coletz and Julian Wilson here. The CIF Southern California Division II Regional Championships. The winner here moves on to the state championships on Saturday at 4 p.m. against the winner, San Ramon Valley against Buchanan. Centennial leads 2-1, 25-16, 25-21. Eastlake came back and won that third set, 25-22. Let's talk about that third set in the finish. Maria, how much does that momentum with the jersey and the blood and the
I mean, as a coach, that was frustrating to watch. It just was, because it's one of those things when I coach my teams, I always tell them, like, there's little games within the big game. You know, you're playing a game to 25 points, but the little games are things like, you know, when they stop and tie their shoe and slow down the game. And, well, that was a big momentum breaker because she had time to get outside, go change her jersey, come back in. Everything about it was slow. So Centennial's over there standing there waiting to receive serve. And they're over here doing all. So Centennial's momentum just got broken, probably mentally and physically, because right after that very first serve receive coming back from that big break, Centennial made an error. So that was a huge momentum swing, and unfortunate for Centennial. It's a tough one, though. It is tough. It is tough to, you know, wait out those kinds of delays and then come back fierce and strong. It's a tough one to do.
But as a coach, what do you say to your team if you're Kim Harper and Sarah Slayton going into this fourth set?
Well, you beat them 2 games already. You go back to what worked. You go back to what worked in those first 2 games, and you are going to be fine. And just keep their momentum and keep their consistency and their confidence. You have the confidence in the fact that you just beat them 2 games, and you are capable of doing it again.
It looks like this is Ariel Chimes. I would figure father and little sister, since she's wearing a Vanderbilt hoodie. Like to see the families following them. And another thing that we talked about in the break is all of your players are here. We have the entire Liberty program sitting right in front of us. Bakersfield Christian, I'm sure, is here at some capacity.
I mean, Frontier.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If you love volleyball in Kern County, you're here tonight. And that's the greatest thing about it, is the community has come together. And that's the one thing in my 10 years here in Bakersfield, is how much there can be a rivalry between coaches. There can be rivalry between teams. But when somebody from the town is playing at this level, everybody comes together.
Oh, I'm pumped for Centennial. It just makes Bakersfield look better. I love it.
And there she is, right there. That was actually Kennedy Wax with the kill there.
That was the setter.
Yeah, that was the setter.
Yeah,
now she's
so
back to
kind of unexpected.
Yep. But I look back at 2019 when Foothills basketball program was running through the state D5 playoffs and eventually winning it. And was that touch? Was there a touch there?
That was
or was
it.
And there's Isla Rose once again.
Great swing.
Those games, those first 2 or 3 rounds for Foothill that year at home, and Foothill's gym is a little bit smaller than this, probably half, maybe even less than half the capacity here at Centennial. They were so overflowing. They were pushing people away because the fire marshal was showing up. They had to move the games to North High, which is the largest gym in the county for high schools, as Eastlake takes a 2-1 lead. But that's what happened, is the city showed up. People wanted to see the greatness that this town has to offer.
Oh, this town is a sports town. I'm actually from LA. I told you I'm from the Monrovia area, and you didn't have that community like you have in Bakersfield.
And the city's here waiting on pins and needles seeing if Centennial can withstand this rally now that Eastlake has. I mean, a 2-1 advantage. I mean, is it tougher going down 2-0 or being up 2-0 and losing that third set? What's tougher on a program?
That's a tough call. It's all about the momentum. I think, yeah, see, that's
and there's
what
Isla
worked.
Rose.
That's what worked before. Remember when Isla was going with the short ball and then that worked before? That's what I would say to my team. What worked before is going to work now, or they're going to struggle at that. So you need to continue to do what works.
Just an intelligent hitter she is.
Yeah, very.
To know when to go strong and when to find a placement. Just a bump over the net by Isla Rose, and Eastlake unable to receive it, and now a side out, and we're tied at 3-3. She does it all.
That's that short, again, short. Eastlake should be kind of assuming it's going to happen by this point, and they haven't really adjusted yet.
And that's not even a kill. That's just kind of, you're just trying to keep the rally going at that point. You're not trying to kill point there, but there is Rivera Vargas, and she does just that with the side out and a 4-3 advantage for the Titans. A new white jersey for the libero. Were you thinking the same thing I was?
Yeah.
Is that call against Isla there?
Yes.
Explain what that call was there, because from a layman, you don't really see anything.
I think she must have touched the net. I don't know, honestly. I really missed that.
Another nice receive by Catwolf Smith. Sure. Isla with the nice little dink. Received by the Titans. And there she is again.
And what Isla did well to Eastlake is that kind of off speed. Like it looks like she's going to swing really hard and then just takes a little bit off her swing, and it makes it hard on the defense. That's what Ivana just did there.
What a momentum switch. I mean, we were just talking about it when it was 19-16, when it was 15-11, when it was 16-14, Centennial advantage in the third. You know, we're almost starting the buses up, but here comes Eastlake. There's a reason why they're here.
It's a game of volleyball.
It really is. It's a game of momentum.
Yep.
And the momentum, it all goes back to that little time,
break.
That little break. Isla Rose back to serve, trailing 4-6. Centennial is up 2-1 here in the D2 SoCal Regional Championships.
Nice dig.
Nice dig by Isla Rose. And a great block in the middle. That was Oram and Hayes and a side out. And now it's 7-4 advantage for the Titans. And Centennial, they need to get a little bit of that mo back.
Get back into their consistency. Serve, receive, pass well. Be confident with your offense.
Wow, what a dig by Catwolf Smith.
Nice hit to the open space, but not by Cat. And she swung and hit it out. Good job.
Stay out of the way. Let it go out of bounds. As a player, you feel that instinct on defense of where you can almost feel where the ball is going to land at times, right?
She's got good court presence. She knows by where she's standing pretty much what's going to go out.
There she is again, Rivera Vargas doing what she does best, and that's...
It's kind of obvious to me that she likes to hit that sharp cross court. And I don't know if we could scoot the block over a little, but, you know, she's so talented, then she just hit the line. So that's a tough call.
Eight-fight advantage for the Titans.
There you go. That's what they did in the beginning that worked. That's what they need to do.
Jordan Kennedy with a nice hit right at the net, unable to be blocked by the Titans.
Well, used
side
the block.
out. Yep.
Used the block. It was great. Used it and hit it out of bounds.
Natalie Alcorn back to serve. Another one of those seniors for Centennial trying to extend the season one more game because that's all you got. This Saturday is it. Another great hit there by the Titans, a 9-6 advantage.
That was, I again, I don't think the Centennial block was sure if it was going to go to the middle or if it was going to go to the outside, so the block was a little delayed.
Paige Sinclair, a junior setter.
Yeah, I think she's a serving specialist. I think she just goes in to serve. And that's a pretty wicked serve. There's got a lot of movement on it.
And there's Chime in the middle again, now a 10-6 advantage, and that momentum has gone directly towards Eastlake. And you can feel this crowd's momentum has changed a little bit. The home side has gotten a little bit quieter, and just to our left is the Eastlake faithful, and they're getting that momentum going, much like I'm sure the girls are as well. Oh, Junior calls that one out. Side out Centennial.
Kind of Junior had to jump for that one, so I think that's where Eastlake was like, how does he even know? He moved his feet so quick you couldn't see. But it was definitely.
And Junior's been doing this.
Yeah, it was out.
As long as you've been coaching.
Or longer, maybe. He's great.
Phenomenal human being.
Yeah. Over. Oh, good serve.
There you go, Natalie Alcorn. And now for just the second time in this set, a 2-point rally.
That was Kate Johns again.
I apologize. That is Kate Johns. Sorry. Yeah. I saw the number 9 and I missed it.
And again, that ball just dropped. Went over the net and dropped.
Johns back to serve. God, it dropped again there, didn't it? Almost like a curveball. Kat Wolf-Smith just kind of lost her positioning. She was ready to go back, but her feet kind of just tangled up on her a little bit.
Well, there again, the net kind of helped the offense that time because the ball tipped the net just enough that it got it a little bit off speed and a little bit
Isla
harder.
Rose got her hand on it, and that kind of moved the trajectory of where Kat Wolf-Smith was kind of feeling where that ball was going to go.
Yeah.
Another nice block there by the Titans. Nice ball placement there by Centennial and another side out. It's just smart volleyball.
Yeah, that was very smart. Good job by George again, putting that ball over. Even though it didn't go down for a kill, it threw him off.
Feels like every time Kat Wolf-Smith is back to serve for Centennial, they seem to find a rally, and that's because of the ability for her and to stay in the back row. We'll see if this happens once again.
Well, you got a great server, and look at that front row. When she's in the back row, look at that front row you get.
And there it is, Isla Rose. Another great serve by George, and Rose is right there to take advantage of that open spot there in the back row.
Yep.
And here we go. Now it's just a 1-point advantage here in the fourth set for Eastlake. Centennial just one set away from a state title berth. Punching their ticket. Both of these teams fighting.
Setter's out. Setter had to pass that ball.
And another errant pass, and we're all tied up at 11-11. So there's that momentum switch, kind of what we saw in the first two sets. It's kind of coming back to fruition for Centennial here in the fourth.
And what is Centennial doing? They are consistent. They're swinging hard, just like Harper planned for them to do.
And there's Sam Smith, the other daughter of Rachel Wolf, who is the head coach at East High now, who was a former Centennial Golden Hawk herself.
That's right.
What a rally here. Nobody wants to give up here.
Oh, hit the net. She's not arguing. She knew she did.
Yep. So there's a side out, and now a 12-11 advantage for the East Lake Titans out at Chula Vista. The San Diego Section Division I champs, like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, did not drop a set in their sectional playoffs. Advanced to the 5 seed here in the D2 regionals. And a very rare misstep by Isla Rose.
But not by much.
Not by much.
That was an aggressive swing.
Centennial, which lost in the opening round of Division I Central Section playoffs, got the bid, the at-large bid, and the number 2 seed, and they've been able to win 3 straight here at home and hosting.
I mean, that says a lot right away when they just got that number 2 seed on the at-large. So that's,
Well, it shows you the strength of the Central Section as well.
And their preseason and who they've played. I mean, they've got out there.
And the River League.
Absolutely.
Between Liberty, Centennial, Frontier, yourselves at Stockdale, Garces, which went into the second round of the D2 section playoffs.
She touched the net again.
Yep.
A little bit of an errant pass typed in the net and makes it tough on that setter when she's backpedaling.
And quickly a 4-point lead for Eastlake, 15-11. And now the Titans are the ones with all the momentum and 10 points away from forcing a decisive Game 5 here in the D2 Regional Championships.
Ooh.
And an unforced error there for the Titans.
Yeah, so Addison, for real, no real reason, touched the net.
That's number 2, Addison Oram. And now back to serve Morgan George, the setter, so she's going to be on the back row. And she gets a little help from the net on the ace and is smiling. That's kind of one of those, like,
what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Cuts it to a 2-point lead for Eastlake. This crowd is starting to really feel it, Coach. Isla Rose! Isla Rose, ladies and gentlemen. You kind of felt that one building. When Chime was unable to get a good hit over the net, you kind of felt the momentum on that point was going to go Centennial's way, did you not?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then that's why Isla's so good. Last one, they were kind of going middle court, cross court, and that one went over here closer to the line.
Great serve there by George. Oh, a nice point, a little help off the net.
Use that block.
Yep.
You know, she hit that block, and it made it just a little bit tough for the defense.
16-14 lead for Eastlake here in the fourth set. A 2-1 advantage for Centennial. We're either going to hoist the trophy after this set, or we're going to go to a Game 5. There's no wiggle room there. If you're watching at home or you're here in the crowd watching this on a replay, you paid money tonight for a great volleyball game, and you're getting your money's worth.
Use the block.
Alex Marshall, we have not called her name much this evening. But there she is at a very crucial time for Centennial. Just a freshman. And you can hear the student section for the Golden Hawks chanting,
she's a freshman.
She's a freshman. And on the girls' side, you hear that more so than you do on the boys' side. Girls mature at a much younger age. But, I mean, just to be able to be a freshman on varsity in a moment like this is just got to be such a cool experience.
Oh. Invaluable. That's amazing.
And there's Hayes right there at the net, able to use the block to her advantage. The ball falls to the court, and it's a 17-15 advantage for the Titans. I'm Trevor Horn along with Maria Collatz and Julian Wilson behind the board for us. We are just absolutely thrilled to be able to present this broadcast to you, ladies and gentlemen. Another ball to the net, and now it's a 3-point advantage, 18-15 for Eastlake. Whew.
And again, I believe number 7 is in there as a server, but she also is a setter. So when that ball came to her, she had the ability to put that second ball over.
Another quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to the Kern High Network, the Office of School Support Services, Director Stan Green, and Valley Strong Credit Union for their continued support of what we do here at the Kern High Network. Also, thank you to the Centennial Administration, Principal Ryan Coleman, AP of Instruction, Carrie Palacio, AP of Administration, Nicole Oliver, Dean of Students of Behavior and Supports, Kathleen Buford, Dean of Students Behavior and Supports, Anthony Ranzik, Athletic Director Tom Haskell, and Activities Director Jana Chapman. Thank you for the hospitality tonight. Absolutely wonderful experience. Great crowd, great environment, and we've got it coming down to the wire here, Coach. 18-15 advantage for Eastlake, and this was a team that was kind of reeling in those first 2 sets, and then they get a little of that momentum, and then they have that whole thing where there's a little bit of the break because of the blood jersey issue, and now here they are with the advantage and momentum, and we're just 7 points away from possibly a 5th and deciding game.
Yeah, well,
absolutely incredible.
Eastlake has been here before, so.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too, is that, you know, while Centennial has the history, it's not a recent history here in the state playoffs. Last year, they were 19-13, went 3-5 in league. 2022, 19-17, 5-5. 2021, 23-8-1, 8-2 in league. This is actually the most wins that they've had since 2011, when they also won 28 games.
Nice dig. So now they're going to send Centennial a free ball. Let's see how this goes. Yep, set something quick. That was smart. Oh,
Great
nice
block in the middle. Kennedy waxed. Now it's a 4-point advantage, 19-15 for the Eastlake Titans, and you can feel the momentum has almost completely switched.
Yeah, Centennial needs to get that confidence back. They need to get that consistency on service. There you go. That's a nice break for Centennial.
Something that we haven't seen much of them in the last 2 sets, but here it is, rearing its head for Eastlake. You know, all those unforced errors that they had to be down 2-0 came right back there. Something they've cleaned up here in the last two sets.
Well, when you have confidence, you don't make those errors.
Yeah. You're not forcing things.
Correct.
And there is Rivera Vargas once again with the kill to the back line and a 20-16 advantage. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting our money's worth tonight. These two teams are not here just at a chance.
Oh, no. They both know how to compete.
Yep. Rose on the back line. Another great hit, uses the block. 21-16 advantage.
Yes. I feel like the setter is doing a little bit better job now for Eastlake too. I think she's putting the ball in a little bit better hittable place, and that's why Eastlake is getting balls into like uncharted territory over there for Centennial.
(21-17) advantage now for Eastlake on the side out for Centennial.
Even just that effort you just saw from Eastlake, you didn't see that in the first 2 games. Them diving after balls out of bounds.
It's almost something they woke up from the bus ride. Something. Net violation.
Nope, that ball never went over.
Nope.
She swung right into the top of the tape.
Quick 2-0 rally with Natalie Alcorn on the serve. Now it's 21-18 advantage for Eastlake here in the 4th set.
Short.
Cat Wolf Smith there once again. Oh. And an unforced error right into the net by Rivera Vargas. And quickly, it's down to a 2-point lead here in the 4th set with Alcorn on the serve. And the student section starting to feel a little bit more. The cheerleaders starting to feel it.
A little bit more rejuvenated here.
Right. You just need a couple 3 points and it'll happen. And there's another one. A great block by Jordan Kennedy. And now, timeout Eastlake. And momentum.
Yeah. Smart timeout for Eastlake for sure.
Because you start to feel it. I mean, everybody in this room is starting to feel it a little bit more.
I mean, 4 points ago, Centennial was the quiet side.
Yeah.
And now look at it. Yeah,
but that's the greatness of the sport is that it just, I mean, you can't blink. You can't take a point off nothing. That
true.
momentum, it just moves, and that's what makes this sport so phenomenal. Where, you know, in football, you have possession. In basketball, it goes back and forth so much, and you can play great defense and just miss shots. Everybody's got an opportunity here. It's just about placement.
It's so fast. So fast, and things can shift so quickly.
And there's no time limit, unlike those other sports. Soccer's got a clock. There's no time limit in volleyball. It is whatever it needs to be, and I think that's the great thing about it. It's like life. It's like you never know when it's going to end. It just, at some point it ends, much like these games, that you just go until you know that it's over, and it's not time, it's effort.
Yep, absolutely.
And here we go, Natalie Alcorn with a 4-0 run here for the Centennial Golden Hawks, down by 1, 21-20 in the 4th set, leading this match 2-1.
Libero finally got that second ball.
Here's a set by George. Kennedy falls We're all tied up at 21-21.
That was just a gutsy, great play by the setter in the middle. You know, it's so easy to go to the safe high outside set in that one, but nope, she went
And
fast
you
in
kind
the
of
middle.
felt when you knew that Morgan George had a chance to set it properly that it was going to be Jordan Kennedy to find it, and she did exactly that.
Yep.
Well, there breaks the 5-0 run and the side out for Eastlake, and now it's a 22-21 advantage for the Titans. But momentum is definitely on the north side.
Centennial knows they're in it again. So,
No, that's what I'm saying. The momentum is still on the north side of this court.
Yeah.
You can feel the tension in this room, ladies and gentlemen. Great dig. And there's Jordan Kennedy, and that is all set up by the defense of Catwolf Smith.
Yeah, that was a great pass. That was a great pass from a really good serve. That was a short, off-speed, weird serve. She got underneath it with a great pass. And then again, George had the confidence to go to that middle. Like, didn't even flinch. Just go for it.
When you have a libero like that, to trust that she can receive hits like that, it's invaluable.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Kate Johns with the ace! And Centennial now has the 23-22 lead, and just 2 points away the Centennial Golden Hawks are from punching a ticket to the state championship. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Does it get much better than this, Coach?
No, this is great.
Kate Johns, another great serve.
That's good.
Oh, that ball is still alive, and there's
Oh.
Isla Rose, ladies and gentlemen, and we are at match point. 24-22 victory, and it is standing room only here in the Hawks' Nest for Centennial. Timeout Eastlake. Coach, I got chills. I have literal chills.
Smart timeout for Eastlake.
They have to, as you see this entire crowd on their feet.
Oh, yeah.
Anticipating what they came here for tonight, and that was a home victory for the number 2 seed Centennial Golden Hawks. And you can feel this, that I know that we're going to win. Chant from the student section. The cheerleaders are up.
I mean,
You got
does it
chills?
get any better?
No.
Does it get any better?
This is why we do what we do.
Is why,
is that right?
This is why girls play the game. This is why you coach. This is why we're sitting up here talking about it.
I'm sitting with the two of you. You had 2 Division I athletes as your daughters were as children. Julian had 4 of his children play Division I athletics. Hopefully my son can, replicate what they did. For the 2 of you guys, you think about this moment and what this means and the high level, and let's let this play out.
This will be with them the rest of their lives.
Kate Johns, the senior, ready to serve. Match point. The number 1 fingers are in the air for the Golden Hawks. Everybody is on their feet. I'm standing up, Coach.
I'm going to have to.
Johns. No good! Centennial! Golden Hawks victorious! 3-1. And the Golden Hawks, for the first time since 1996, are headed to the state championship. The student section has stormed the court. A great season for the Eastlake Titans comes to an end, and the miraculous state tournament run for the Centennial Golden Hawks continues into the championships on Saturday at Santiago Canyon College. And Kim Harper and her coaching staff have done such an incredible job here victorious. Coach, put your...
What do you say? Centennial was consistent and did what they were good at and did it well all night. They even in that third game, they were consistent and played well. They mixed up their offense. They were quick. They used that big, tall block like it wasn't even there. I mean, Centennial really came ready to play tonight, and it was awesome.
I'm taking a moment to text my wife, a Centennial grad from 2004, that her alma mater's going back to the state championship.
It's awesome.
Absolutely phenomenal performance by the Golden Hawks. Here they are, champions. They're going to do their traditional run to the locker room real quick. And I'm going to hug a friend, a mom, a coach. Rachel, we didn't get it done 3 years ago, but your daughter just got it done. Phenomenal. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're going to cry like a baby all night long. Go hug your dad.
And you should.
Go hug your mother.
And you should. It's okay.
What an absolute triumph for the Centennial Golden Hawks. You felt the momentum, Coach. Let's talk about that a little bit. We go back to that third set and that momentum switch for Eastlake and how they were just kind of – it felt like they were just riding it. And it almost felt like destiny was on their side. This was going to go to the fifth set. What happened there in the fourth that Centennial was able to do properly to close this thing off?
They were resilient, and they came back. Even though Eastside kind of had the momentum there for a while, again, they went back to what worked. And even a short shot here, great serve receive passing when they needed it, using that block. The things that worked in the beginning worked in the end, and they were very, very consistent and good at doing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to stay on the broadcast until that trophy presentation is completed. We're not going to go away. We're going to stay here with you as the Golden Hawks are coming back onto the court to a large round of applause. They want this court cleared, but good luck, it ain't happening because everybody's ready to celebrate this one. Athletic Director Tom Haskell, along with Kern High Director of School Support Services Stan Green, is there to present the runner-up trophy here in the Southern California. A tough trophy to take. You've taken this trophy before. It's not fun. But congratulations to the Eastlake Titans on an incredible season.
Huge accomplishment to be here.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Athletic Director Tom Haskell with the plaque, hands it over to Stan Green. And we're about to witness something that is 28 years in the making, Coach.
That's awesome.
CIF Southern California Division II champions, the Centennial Golden Hawks, celebrating victoriously tonight in a berth into the state championship. The first for Bakersfield since 2006 when Bakersfield Christian was victorious. That head coach, Judy Rexroth, is in the building. Mm-hmm. You've played in the state championship.
I watched that.
You're here in the building. And here we are, again, a two-time state championship team. Now going for a third.
That's so
a team
awesome.
that didn't make it out of the first round of the Central Section Division I playoffs are now going to the state championship.
That's so awesome.
Once again, congratulations to both teams on an outstanding match. Thank you for attending.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. The Centennial Golden Hawks, I will leave you with this, will play San Ramon Valley in the state championship, 4 o'clock on Saturday at Santiago Canyon College after San Ramon Valley defeated Buchanan in 3 sets. So your Centennial Golden Hawks champions, the Southern California Division II championship. For our fearless leader, Stan Green, Maria Colatz, my partner tonight, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
Julian
you.
Wilson, always the steady hand that leads this ship. I appreciate you. My name is Trevor Horn, and it has been my utmost pleasure broadcasting this game tonight. So much fun. Thank you for watching. God bless. Good night.